breakfast with Stunner, who could ask for more there, Vince? But for now, we've got Counter-Strike to deal with. It's the second map coming up at the best of three. Two rivals going toe-to-toe, two Danish powerhouses. It will be OpTic versus Heroic. We saw Nuke first. You said Train could be more forgiving for OpTic then.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and I think it will play more to their solo power with a lot of their players, the likes of Yugi. I'm really expecting to see a different level from him because I don't want to be too harsh because he's still young, right? He's still finding his way, still, and especially in a big stage like this, but he was very quiet on Nuke.
It's a very difficult map for Orpus to really excel. I guess Mertz will prove that theory wrong, but overall, that's where he can do his best work on a map like Train. We'll see whether that is yet to be realized. You see the huddles coming through, and my round, I think, has been completed. Looks like we'll have a Heroic CT start here. OpTic, though, just looking a little bit more composed. No huddles there. What do you think about the whole huddles in general?
I think it's very dependent on the players at hand. Some people are kind of quiet before the storm. Some people super hype, super into it. So, I mean, we already saw Mertz was all smiles in the first map, was super hype in the first map. So it clearly Heroic are the kind of guys that want to get things hyped up and amped up. And I think maybe some of it is down to the fact that with it being Train, they realize that they probably are the underdogs coming through into this map.
I think you might be right, but we'll see how it goes down. If Mertz can keep it up, maybe he can shut this one down and get the 2-0. We've had all the maps today, every single one in the first two series. We feel like this one could do the same as well. That is yet to be seen, but we'll go into map number 2 momentarily. Looks like we are almost ready to go. Coach there just getting ready. Snappy in front of him. He's going to have to pull out all the stops there. With Heroic on the CT start as well, that is very beneficial. Now, this elimination game will get going very, very shortly. T-start as well. OpTic definitely not been their best tournament overall. It's probably been quite a disappointing outing so far. I guess the game against FaZe really said it all. They couldn't get going whatsoever, but if they lost to Heroic as well, that might signify some changes perhaps. I'm not really sure where they would go from this, because this is the Heroic, especially the farm team for the likes of OpTic. This is where Snappy came from. This is where Yugi came from originally. If now Heroic beat them in the best of 3 to knock them out, that's quite significant in my book, and we'll see. Will be realized here. You favor OpTic, I'm not so sure. We'll see whether they can get going here. We do see a P250 this time in the hands of Config. The Molotov usually for inside. I like this though from Heroic. They're going for an inside push. They're shutting down any sort of chance of an execution this side of the map. The CZ will go in first. That's in the hands of the Sicilian. Can't find the shot, but Config certainly can.
At least Modi will get the avenge kill straight afterwards, though, not allowing Config to barrel down through into B. And they have put 3 players over on this side of the map as many terrorist sides decide to go for the all-out push onto B side, as it is pretty easy to get the bomb down. But if they don't check coils, Esatang will be their nemesis. He will be their demise. Smoke onto the site's not great. The bomb's gone out in the open too. And it's gone all the way of Heroic. It's down to Snappy. There's the first kill. Decent headshot. Bit of overkills. Modi was super low anyway. But now his position's compromised.
3 players remain on the Heroic side here. He goes for a Glock, running out of bullets from that CZ, and he's getting tagged up. He hasn't got armor, so every bullet's going to hurt significantly. Gets a dink on Freiburg, but that's all he'll get. So Heroic, lovely approach. Like I said, I'm not sure why a lot of teams don't do that in general. If you do push inside by 3-4 players like that, like we expect, Pop to go towards inside. They've got the Molotov, the smoke. They want to get in there, trade out the one player that might be anchoring. But if you go toe-to-toe with them, even if you make it an equal trade, at least push them outside. They can't have the effectiveness of an inside execution. So there we go. Heroic pick it up. No bomb planted. Here comes the purchase from OpTic. They have forced into this one. It's Snappy with the utility instead of armor. Well, he knows they're going to need something here. Similar to you can't just run around almost nothing, or maybe you can. Config just finds an amazing one to kick things off.
Who else but Config, and he's doubled up onto Mertz. Already Heroic. They are shaky. Cajun B with another D. We mentioned about the Danish Deagles, and so far they're living up to the hype. Cajun B is going to get found out. But Gade's not able to get 2. Modi, long-range MP9 headshot onto Snappy, bringing this back into a one-on-one. And Config, who started off with 2 1-Deags, now trading out to the FAMAS. Still needs to pick that bomb up just to his right-hand side. Plenty of time left. And Modi can't completely fight down on this, but the spray is good. And Heroic just about hold on.
Very back and forth round there, but the ultimate result is Heroic win it. You see Freiburg loving it. Just so anyone is unaware, Modi is a highly decorated 1.6 player from back in the day. I'm sure someone Freiburg even used to look up to before he was playing CSGO. He was an absolute veteran at the scene. Very smart in those sort of situations. That's a crucial round of it. I can't stress that enough. That's guaranteed them a 3-0. Oh, wait, no, I take it back. There's a force buy from OpTic knowing they got so many kills. All right, that's fascinating. They've gone for that. They have fully invested into this one, and it will be S-Attack to open things out. This could be a very dicey call from them. They had so much success with the Deagles before. They're hoping they can replicate it. But now S-Attack's got that kill. He can call their armor. You get dinks, you can feel they're not squishy as they should be, and it's not working out whatsoever for OpTic. They will not have a gun round next unless they can win this. S-Attack gets up towards Popdog. This is a great call. He's going to be going for a long flank here, but Cajun's waiting with a FAMAS. Luckily for Heroic, Yugi gets dropped at the same time. Cajun B left in a 2 versus 1. He's got the FAMAS, an incendiary, and a smoke. Bomb not in his grasp. He's actually in a pretty compromised position, but still, he's capable of winning this, Vince.
And with this time left as well, it is going to put some doubts in the back of Heroic as to whether he's going for a long flank. So they can't completely stack this for the next 10, 20, 30 seconds without starting to get itchy, without starting to get that sixth sense tingling that there could be. About to get destroyed from the backside, but Cajun is going into team main, and that's going to be to the fortune of Heroic, even though, as you say, he did actually get the dink off.
So now they don't have a gun round. There's no bomb got planted. They have to take another partial buy here. So they're going to be presumably 4-0 down. It was an audacious score. I don't hate it. The fact they got it down to a 1 versus 1 before, that's why they've gone for it. Just in a map like Train, if they're hoping they can just walk out of main entrance and get 2-1 deeks again, that's not exactly going to happen every single time, you know. Either way, it will be just Eagles, no armor, PD50s, and Heroic have a chance to open up their bank accounts. You can see a city being baited in there by Mert, and there's going to run into his crossover. They're so good at these Deagles, you can never discount them in these sort of scenarios. Modi trying to reposition, avoids the full damage there by jumping on the coils. Mert hits another, but no frag obtained. But the round should be there. You can see how squishy Yugi, Gade, and Snappy are.
I mean, so far, OpTic have got 10 kills in these opening 3 rounds, and it feels like most of them are from Desert Eagles. Just the 1Ds landing all over the place. Gade, you had a bit of an odd decision in the last round, just walking down the ladder into a free death. Has definitely turned up the pace in this round, although the grenade is good for the kill on Yugi, and did a lot of chunk to Cajun. It is still going to be Freiburg losing his life and an extra weapon trading hands, but everybody from OpTic under half health, as opposed to Heroic are all full. So it should still be going the way of the CTs in this round, but there is a couple of opportunities, a couple of avenues that they could try and explore, one of which is team main.
It's very tense. Time ticking away as well. He adds to the jeopardy here. Snappy. FAMAS in hand. Mertz needs to be careful, but he's hitting absolutely everything right now. I think he can do whatever he pleases. As the remaining players low HP, it looks like it will be a guaranteed Heroic round. 4-0 obtained. Let's say it wasn't a little bit frustrating for them. Against the Deagles, though, of OpTic, you're always going to suffer some casualties. It's difficult to make all the clarifications to make sure that everything's going to be kind of covered and looked out for, but here's Mert baiting in Astillion. This should have done much better because Astillion was in a great spot, still got taken down with the 1D. He didn't do anything wrong, it was just a great shot from the OpTic boys. And we have the first gun round for OpTic here, and they've got no AWP. I think they could have afforded one, to be honest, but they went for the AKs instead. Going for a fast inside play by the looks of things. Good nade. Great nade.
Snappy is picking shrapnel out with his teeth. After that, down to 22. Astillion going to bolster up the B defense, but he is now on a lone mission. S-Attack behind him has struck, but Astillion will go down, allowing Conflict to push in, up in the face of Heroic. And although it was a 4-0, the economy is very weak for Heroic, so OpTic, this could be a 2-for-1 round.
I think you might be right. There have been so many close instances here for Heroic, and they can't hold off the inside rush there. Change of pace, and I think that's where OpTic normally will flourish, because they've got so many aim styles in this team. You just stick together and give them targets to shoot at before the smokes can even go down. Why wouldn't that work? As Mert does try and survive here. Takes down Snappy on his exit towards the Ivy area. Like you said, money is in the absolute bin for them right now. As if he can save the AWP, there's always a chance he can carry the round single-handedly. Looks like he will survive. 3 for OpTic will as well. Very simple approach. Inside push. fast as you like, challenge toe-to-toe. And that's going to be the first round for OpTic, 4-1. Remember, they are a map down right now. As Config just pushes towards those backlines. That's what you want to be doing, stopping those rotations, especially if you've gone that fast as well. He waited for their reactions. They don't want to do grenades in their hand or focusing down towards the bomb train. Config's up there, ready for anyone coming towards the connector or CT spawn. Mertz looks like he's heading towards inside for now. They have force bought this, Vince. I don't mind that at all. We've got the AWP, might as well give it a go. Gage might have to negate this AWP, and Mertz misses. That was his. Normally does nail those sort of shots, but he will go down and give up the AWP.
And in the context of this map, he's been landing everything, so that is quite surprising. He missed a relatively easy shot by his own high standards. And they're in this position in the first place because he saved that AWP. So this is putting a lot of pressure on early doors on Train. Things can quickly change back in OpTic's favor. 2 players down already, and now it is raining nades, Molotovs and smoke. Blot out the sky, but Astilion's MP9 is able to at least salvage 1 kill. EsseTag drops the bomb out into the open, but Config continues to shine with another 2 kills. He now moves on to 7-4 as OpTic bridge the gap.
It certainly does. OpTic, once again, focusing towards inside. That's exactly where Mertz was. Ideally, you want to avoid him, but if you can take him down as quickly as that, that's not a problem whatsoever. Mertz went down, trying to stand in the Molotov, that's fine. Trying to get that first kill, he knew he needed it. And now OpTic coming online here on Train. They're going to be guaranteed this 3rd round as well, because, as you can see, it is the full eco. 0 speed, no armor. And Freiburg taking significant damage. A lot of them are as well as they get cooked right by the Ivy position. Flames all around them. And not really much chance of a frag, I'm afraid, of nothing at all. It's just down to whether OpTic go together. Nothing inside whatsoever. It's a completely open site. So that confirms it is a guaranteed round for the OpTic boys here.
Yeah, a bit of a bland barbecue with no upgraded weapons on Heroic. But stacking together on the off chance it was an outside play on A. As it stands, the OpTic will get the plant. No reason to save these USPs, of course, but it's more about stopping any of that farming frenzy to come into effect for Snappy's Mac 10. So it wouldn't surprise me if you see them stack, try and take a weapon away. But Snappy is in hot pursuit, and he could do a bucket load of damage, especially if they walk around the corner 1 by 1. Is he going to be baited into a false sense of security? Yes, he is. Will go down, but it's only a Mac 10. That's completely worth it. Snappy just got 3 kills with the Mac 10 for a USP frag in return.
Yeah, lovely $1,800 farmed for Snappy. Not bad at all. You're absolutely right. You give up Mac 10, doesn't actually matter.
Absolutely,
you can take that to the next round. Against armor, it's actually pretty useless. I guess in some positions like Pop Dog, you steal a kill away. You get that early, you're not that worried about it. You want an AK next round anyway. You've already paid it off in full. And it will be 4-3 as OpTic get back into this. Remember, this is their map pick. They wanted to play this one, Mertz with the Mac 10, and I assume he throws it away. Indeed, he does. There'll be 5 M4s here, no AWP for himself. He currently sits on 7 frags, 2 deaths. Top of the charts for OpTic is Cajun right now, followed by Config. He's actually on 7. It's Cajun on 6. He's got slightly more points. So there we have it. Round 8 as also Yugi still looking quite quiet, 2 and 4, but trust me, Train, he can do some unspeakable things on this map, Vince. I'm sure you've seen a few of them.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, off the early start with the 4 spines that are coming into play, this is really Yuki's first chance to have any impact.
Yes.
So let's see if he can get it done with the AWP. Originally deciding to try his luck on Ivy. Backs away. Nothing forthcoming. Pretty standard stuff. 3-2 stack for Heroic, with EsseTag having a quick look into Pop Dog. But that's all it was. Pretty fleeting. Nades being expended by OpTic just to get some real estate on box halls. There isn't a huge amount of grenades left for Heroic, though, so they're actually going to go quite aggressive. Molly's going to be the player with the M4. Spots the head down the corner. Gets 1, but not a second. Nice effort by Modi, but that is going to put pressure on B now. Although, it's a ruse.
Oh, we do like those. They are going to head towards outside. You can see Astillion, he hasn't called for any sort of rotations here whatsoever, so they've still got 3 players towards outside. Freiburg holding strong by Ivy. Problem is no AWPs. They're still very vulnerable to Yugi at this point. He'll be dropping an incendiary towards the bomb train here as his teammates hunt, especially Config. So aggressive, wants to take these doors anywhere he can. Occasion B that beats him to the punch there. Takes down Mertz, and they should be able to get a plant here. Or maybe not. EsseTag out of nowhere strikes, denies the plant. His teammates pounce, and it's a 3 versus 1 in the blink of an eye.
This is an opportunity Yugi would love, but he's only got 10 seconds, and so he can't. I think if he's got 30 seconds left there, he goes for it, but no need to anymore. He's getting out of there, so again, not really a chance. And that's all off the back of no one covering the site when he went for the plant.
Yeah, they saw the lack of time there at that point. I think it was about 15 seconds they go for the plant. They go for it, and then just no one had cleared it out whatsoever. There was like one of those moments, just like, I hope he's not there. I really hope he's not. And then he jumps over. As soon as he denies the plant, that's when all the aggro is focused on S-Tag, and his teammates can just come out the other flanks and just take them down. Freiburg goes towards Ivy. He manages to take down anyone responding to the bomb being dropped, and very well recovered by Heroic, but certainly not out of the woods just yet. Still an expensive round for them. You can still see the right-hand side of the screen. They're still fully invested financially. And OpTic, they still have a buy in the bag. So they're still comfortable with this. 5-3, not the end of the world. Yugi still the AWP at the very same time.
Again, Ivy, same idea. Same partner in crime of Config. And Freiburg and Mertz on the other side of the wall of smokes. I doubt that they're going to be pressured for the time being. That stalemate will continue for another 15-20 seconds at least, especially as the bomb is dropped back over on the spawn side. A declaration of intent that there's going to be no fast shenanigans for the time being. But now Snappy is going to go back to retrieve the bomb. Just shy of a minute to play with. Freiburg taking more of a passive angle from the backside of Ivy. S-Tag on the site again. Mertz playing to his right-hand side, just behind the green train. It's poised. It certainly is for some fast play towards the end of the round, Henry, but not much has happened so far in this round.
It's been a quiet one. It's such an important round, though. 30 seconds remaining. Config again trying to open things up. Mertz waiting for him, but Config swinging with these kills. Mertz finds the first. Can he get the second? Not quite. Good trade coming through. Yugi watching the back lines here, but S-Tag once again holding the bomb train. Great job by Heroic so far. It looks like they've done enough here as Yugi once again in another 3 versus 1. 15 seconds this time, Vince, and he's caught a little bit of no-man's land. He didn't get anything done, and it seems like it's the bomb site. It's the real problem here for OpTic. As soon as they get everything done and the procedure has gone through, they've got outside the main choke points, it's getting that bomb planted as being the main issue for them.
A real demoralizer again. 1v3.
Yes, same pretty much exact outcome really as well, right?
Yeah. This time he had 5 more seconds, didn't make any difference, not able to save the AWP. He was too far gone at that stage, too committed. But OpTic have another buy. And you know, the neutral and you just want to see Yugi rattle off some heads because he's been so good for OpTic and just hasn't had a chance in his best of 3 to show the world what he's capable of.
Definitely one of the quieter events for him as Gage swallows a grenade.
Ouch.
I think he did that yesterday as well against FaZe. We were talking about the fact he was the only player without helmet, and he took maximum damage of the grenade. I think it was like 94 he took.
Right, yeah, it was yesterday. I think it was on train as well.
Yeah, right. Either way, they're going to go inside. They're standing the flames right now, and Castillion trying to spray them down. It's an equal exchange for now. Modi, though, needs to be careful here. He knows he's vulnerable. He has been spotted as a player jumps down towards the bomb site. Can't find the insta-kill with the AK-47. Makes up for it, though. Is that Castillion that steals the kill away? What a great series he's had so far. Looking incredibly sharp. A player that's probably got under most people's radars in the last couple of years. Still a 3-on-3, but look at the HP disparity. Yugi and Snappy. There's nothing between them. The bomb is down. Asilian knows it. He's still wildly spraying. He now has full vision of it. Great smoke from the CTs to buy him a bit more time.
All off the back of a brutal barrage of explosives. Yugi and Snappy still trying their best to stop these wounds from hemorrhaging.
Another smoke, and that's a problem. And if that stays there for, what, another 10, 15 seconds, by the time they can go down the lower ramp, you've got maybe 13 on the clock. You know, it's going to be very difficult to even consider trying to go for this one, but it's still a 3-on-3, just low HP. I think they'll have to flash for him to go for this, just as it's dissipating here. And Asilian fluffs it somewhat. They can't go back towards outside, but they can certainly win this on frags. Time ticking away. Freiburg can't connect first, but Molly can.
Line up for Freiburg, easy pickings in the end. And it was, I think a lot of that was down to the smoke on ramp.
It definitely was. It was so stifling for them, you know. They couldn't really get through. They just had to choose a time, wait for the second it was about to dissipate, flash through it. And yes, Freiburg, another big spray down for him. Had one on Nuke earlier. They were low HP, admittedly, but still, that's a big sequence for him. Will raise his morale. And finally, it's taken so long, Vince. It's taken the 3 rounds in a row, but OpTic are finally onto an eco here. Deagles, no armor, but we know what that means for players like Config.
Almost more of a threat in Desert Eagle rounds, as crazy as that may seem. But Mertz comes through, and surprise, surprise, Gade this time. Another Dane connects the 1D. Essetag sent reeling out of round 11. It's Sicilian's turn, though, to step on the side. Typically, Essetag's been here trying to transition that spray into a second player and connect the dots. Yugi's now going to connect with one, but Freiberg's right there to counteract. Snappy going to put us into a 1-on-2. Still plenty of time left, but he's been spotted. Does have control of the bomb, so this is where the mind games can start to come into play.
Snappy then. No armor. The M4. Modi and Sicilian, all they need to do is stick together here. You might think, oh, let's play one inside and one outside. That's actually the incorrect way to play this sort of situation. You know he hasn't got much to work with in terms of utility, might not have the armor, and if you don't want to give him the opportunity to have a single one-on-one encounter. Sure, he might be able to go to the other side of the map and plant, but you still have time to go together, someone fake defuses, or even goes to the full defuse, and you take him on in that respect. That's why they're just hugging, essentially, in towards the Ivy position right now. That's the correct way to play it. Loving this from Heroic. Pretty much guaranteed to go around this point, and easy does it. Down goes the bomb, and so there's a little lesson for you guys at home. If you want to win rounds, you do not want to play 2-on-1 separately. You want to make it as impossible as you possibly can for the terrorist, even if that means giving up a bomb plant.
And they had all the tools, too, to retake. They had a smoke and incendiary, so if a Molotov comes out on the B plant afterwards from the, the classic box halls position, they can extinguish that. They can stay together, as you say, play the bodyguard system. And in the end, wasn't required. They got the double stack.
And sometimes you get lucky. You know, you just walk into your cross there where you are stacked, and it looks wonderful. Well, like that did. It looks like they had that under control. OpTic, maybe not so much, Vince, because they've now lost 4 rounds in a row. They were 4-0 down.
Yeah.
And so this is, for anyone just tuning in, this is another elimination game, our third best of 3 of the day. It's a bit of a derby here between Heroic and OpTic. We've already had one map, which was Nuke. That was Heroic's pick. They actually looked very convincing towards the end of that one. And now we're on train, OpTic's pick, and they're looking anything but really. But they are on the T side. If they can get together maybe 5-6 rounds, that's ideal. 4 or 5, not as much. We'll see what happens. As we'll have Mertz. I like this, though, changing the pace. So he doesn't get any kills here, right? But the amount of intel he's just got by saying, no one's Ivy, get ready inside. Because no one's going to do an outside execution. One player outside towards Ivy. So they're going straight in for it. And we'll see whether they can get the bomb down this time. It's been a massive problem for them. But more utility used, and they are keeping things equal for now.
On Mertz is teeing off. They kind of got baited because a player died on Ivy. They didn't expect a second one to appear. And that's where Mertz Op came into play. Snappy, way out in the open. Similar position to where Yugi died in the 1-3. 3 or 4 rounds ago, tagged and fragged. Heroic take a 9-3 lead. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Henry, but I believe the winner of this best of 3 plays NIP tomorrow. I
think you might be right.
It's in the same side as the MIB Australis quarterfinal.
Yeah, that's right. MIB Australis up next, right? So that's quite interesting. Do you think about it? There's so many great storylines in terms of like West CSs right now, especially at this sort of level right now, the Scandinavian scene, where you've got like obviously Freiberg, ex-NIP star, and all the Swedes that go with it. There's definitely some interest coming up soon. But now, Vince, it will be OpTic Gaming with the pause, and they have to take another partial buy here. Not looking too good, is it?
It really isn't. And I was trying maybe to hype myself and make myself believe that OpTic were going to come out swinging here and we're going to get a really competitive map. But I've got to give all credit to Heroic. They've looked rock solid on their CT side.
They really have. They said in that little interview with Stunner before, they feel prepared. And they think they can do it well at this tournament. I think if they can just get to the playoffs, that's job done for this team in my opinion already. That they've already gone above expectations considering the stacked tournament we have here at the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters.
Just goes to show that individual brilliance often can't outshine just solid teamwork.
Well, that's what we talk about, the kind of role player aspect and stacking your team with too many star players, sure, but you can't get them into the right positions. They don't have what they need to get there. Sometimes it can be a little bit underwhelming. But like we said, Deagles and a few flashbangs, this team can make it work. So do not discount them in this particular round.
Smoke being deployed by the CTs onto ramp just to stop any kind of push in motion. Molotovs are being exchanged, though. Fire everywhere on the site, but now going to disperse. And in the meanwhile, Mertz positions onto connector. Oh, the bomb is dropped in such a horrible spot. That could be the round done just off that. And indeed it will. That bomb drop was absolutely
filthy, destructive. Yeah, you can't really do much about that, Vince. You're going down lower. You're jumping past the lower ramp, and then all of a sudden the bomb gets in pretty much the worst spot it could have done if you had to choose anywhere. Right down there with no grenades on it, that would be it. But that was the partial buy. They obviously have the maximum loss bonus here. They can bring out the AWP again. Yugi, we called him out for having a big train game. He's currently sat on bottom of the scoreboard, 5 and 9. Not been his best tournament, but we'll see what we can do. And round 14 takes a couple of nades to the face, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. But good shot, takes down Mertz. Finally gets the better of him. That's the opening OpTic are looking for. Can he get anything more? Doesn't connect that shot. And the flashbang could take him down here as he tries to retreat. Asilian one step ahead of him, knowing he had to react to that first frag coming in. And he does a fantastic job. Only want to go one step further here. Not the cleanest of sprays. Should go down. There's a lot of better damage towards Snappy, his former teammate. Flashbang through, and Snappy with the smoke lower ramp could actually take advantage of this, but S-Tag's been such a beast in these sort of positions, holding bomb sites and making sure no plant can be possible.
Always seems Johnny on the spot, always in the right place at the right time. He's been on A a couple of moments, but it's going to be the shutdown onto Snappy. Preemptive spray around the corner. Won't find the kill onto Cajun B. And our config coming up from the side. I mentioned this Molotov earlier. He has it, and there is no smoke currently in play. But config's gone down without being able to utilize it, and so will Cajun B. Another round to Heroic.
Fantastic. As we said, S-Tag, those sort of positions, he's been wonderful. He gets the patience just to sit there and let them plant. That in itself was genius, because he knows if he runs around there, of course they're going to be waiting for it. They're going to make sure that bomb goes down. But if he waits and suggests that no one's there waiting for them, they'll walk past his little sneaky position in the smoke there. He gets the first frag, waits for his teammates to come through, stays alive as long as possible, keeps them hunting for him, and his teammates can come in when they're still focused so much on him. Freiberg rotates through, finds a kill towards upper, and Cajun B can do nothing about it. So very, very well done by Heroic. Gotta be impressed, because this has been absolutely fantastic. They're going to finish things off with a double AWP setup for the first time we've seen that from Heroic.
I mean, Train definitely, many people would say, is favoured towards the defense side, but a potential 12-3?
That would still be quite the message on their map pick.
Oh yeah. It's hard to see OpTic coming back from that, but it has to start now. They're going to go for that boost. Freiberg, in the meanwhile, using their smoke to shield himself, but it's going to be Asilian and Mertz to both come in for the first kills. Mertz has got a second. Is there going to be a third on the horizon? But potentially not, because Gate's the last player left, and Heroic 12-3 first half score.
They are absolutely pumped up there, and I'm sure the atmosphere down on the show floor is absolutely electric. Are we going to be seeing Stunner down at halftime? I'm not sure. Doesn't sound like it. And we'll continue. No Stunner, apparently. He doesn't want to get involved this time. And for now, you can see the boys looking very calm. And that's a great half from them, Vince.
There's not really much to add. I mean, 12-3 just tells you everything you need to know. It has been that one-sided. Not a single player on OpTic is over 10 kills. Meanwhile, everybody on Heroic has reached that landmark.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's been such a great half from them. Mertz, again, top fragging, 16 kills. Asilian, very impressed by them. What a great half. Good reaction plays. Nothing to do with like crazy aim or doing anything out of the ordinary, but just the reaction plays he's making when his teammates went down. He knew what he had to do to get the round back in their favor, and 9 times out of 10 he was making that happen. S-Tag on the bomb sides, just sitting there denying plants, and OpTic, they're having good approaches. They're getting out the main choke points, trading frags. It was the very last hurdle they would tumble. So OpTic can definitely pull this one back. Like we said, it's a CT-sided map, but they need this pistol. It all starts here.
It does seem that they're very dependent on Yugi right now, so not only do they need a pistol, they need solid subsequent rounds where they can afford to get that AWP as soon as possible. No more of these forced by shenanigans, no more of losing 2 or 3 players in pistol rounds against eco'd up sides. They've got to make this stick if they want to bring this long comeback into a reality. But for the time being, Heroic playing 3 players strong on ramp, all pushing down together with the bomb carrier of Asilian. Lots of damage has been traded, though, as Gade gets dinked down to 11. He is the defuse kit wielder, too, by the way, with the smoke. So it's important that he stays alive a little while longer. But it has been a bit of a bait, because they still have Moddy and Popdog and Mertz watching from the Ivy side. Just making sure that no CTs try and rummage their way around the back and get that information. Cajun B holding the site by himself. This is a downside for Gade because he's so low. He can't really get up close and personal because one stray bullet and he's a dead man. But Config's found his man of Modi. And now it's going to be the waterfall of terrorists looking to barrage their way onto Config. He's buying up time on E-Box, but he's going to fall prey to the Glock. Yugi and Snappy, both there for kills. But it's still going to be a rough fight to hold on to as Yugi's run out of bullets, but so is his adversary, Freiburg, who gets chopped to pieces. All on a Cillian down to 17. What a sloppy round this has been so far.
Absolutely obscene. I have no idea how Freiburg didn't have any bullets in his Glock. I think he must have had 2 bullets left. He must have just lost track. Cillian can still do this, especially if he hits shots like that. Comes down to the 1 versus 1, but time is of the essence. How has he not killed the kill? Oh, Cajun, that could have been an absolute disaster. He knows it as well. It's just that USP, if you miss the first few bullets, it can fall apart very quickly. I felt it going wrong. But this was a little bit of an Orkimomo, but there we go. Freiburg taken down by the knife. Must-win pistol for OpTic. Wasn't the cleanest, but they got it. So that's all that counts.
A win's a win, Henry. That's what they've got to tell themselves.
Yes.
And the pistol doesn't matter so much, but from here on out, it needs to be solid. Going to be Yugi on the M4. UMP in play on both Gade and Snappy. Config using the MP9 and Cajun with another assault rifle. Gade just on the other side of the smoking ramp. There's a bunch of terrorists waiting, itching for an opportunity to strike onto him and the B site. And here come the nades. He's going to preemptively spray down there. Lands the headshot. But it's going to be a flashbang Freiburg who lands the CZ frag. But here comes Config. He should be able to clean up this round right here, right now. Bomb goes out, sprawls. He's going to get 2, making a 3rd. All headshots all day for Config. And he's going to get a 4K.
Really nice stuff there from Config. That's more like it for him. He knows he can carry this game for the team if required. Great plays by him, denies the plant. That's the most important aspect. Sure, the kills are flashy, but the fact that bomb doesn't go down denies them cash and keeps them at an arm's length. So well done to him. Great timing, good awareness as well. You see that him just snapping around, knowing exactly where they're going to be. So full eco now for Heroic, and this will go the distance now. I promise you that. OpTic just need a few good rounds. And Chad even mentioned on the desk, if you give Config a good start to our half, a good pistol round, and he gets some anti-eco kills as well, he snowballs out of control. That's a great grenade. Look at the damage inflicted by Snappy here. All the kills coming through. Yugi will take most of them. After Snappy does all the damage, he's got to be a little bit gutted at that one, but still, he wins the round. That's all that really matters.
I mean, his ADR just went through the roof in that round. That must have been 300 or 400 damage he did just by himself.
He dinged 3 of them and they came around the corner, naded them, didn't get a single kill, but he got 4 assists. So there it is. It's still not bad at all. He'll take it. AKs now for Heroic. It's starting to look a little bit more convincing for OpTic. Just to, like we always say, win the pistol, negates the anti-ecos. 12-6 on the CT side. It's not that bad. You can bring this back. If they lost the pistol on the other hand, it'd be a very different story.
Well, they've already been done. Could be moving to our second best of 3, but as it stands, OpTic holding on for dear life. Molly primed to be tossed into Pop Dog. Config will be on the receiving end of it. CORSAIR in the position, expecting someone to drop down, and even a double stack could be on the cards. Statuesque by the terrorist, no one budging a muscle. Yugi going to go peeking. Smoke's starting to land around him. And is going to get the first kill onto Esitag. Very important, not just for his confidence, but also in terms of this round. It's going to make Heroic's life a lot harder trying to push their way out. You can see how isolated they are. Freiburg's Ivy, a Cillian T main, Mertz and Modi both box halls. It's going to be a while before they can push together.
Absolutely right there, Vince. Heroic now have got their backs to the wall in this particular round after losing the first kill in the form of S-Tag. Time really is running out as well. Cajun B applying the pain towards the lower ramp, and they are separated at this point. Freiburg goes down. This is a pretty much over round now. As Cillian might be able to get this first kill, but Config patient for now at least, and he's going to time it well. As soon as he comes through, that's when Cillian is looking away. They're right back in this game. This is their map pick. They picked it for a reason. They know they can do some wonderful things on the CT side. So there we go. Should be another eco now for Heroic, and now we'll find us at 12-8. It's going to be a long one, but OpTic looking more comfortable now. Scoreline in the second half is 4-0.
I have called another tactical timeout here. Heroic been under the cosh a little bit, 4 rounds in a row. We'll see them decide to take it a little bit slower. In terms of their finances, can't really get a buy. Maybe some Desert Eagles and CZs in play. They have nearly max round loss on the horizon, so could invest a little bit more. And indeed, it will be some upgraded pistols, but not much else. And yeah, I mean, OpTic these last few rounds have looked almost a different team.
Yeah, look very confident. They've got a ton of money as well. With config $8,000, the amount of SMG kills he's got, not surprising. And similar story for Gade and Snappy as well. So, Freiburg and Co. with just the pistols here. A couple of Deagles. It's P250 CZ's Mert of nothing. He's going to get that gun out on a map like Train. But this is looking very convincing. This time Snappy, at least getting 1 kill. It'll be a good grenade again. Oh, lovely stuff. Managing to get 3 kills this time, making up for the ones he missed out on before. S-Tag going to get a couple here with just the 1. And it will be 12-8 as predicted. Money, though, should allow Mertz to bring out the AWP for the first time on the T side. And this is where the test really begins. They're going to have to really grind through this one now. Getting 3 rounds might not sound like a lot, just to get to number 15, that is. For Heroic, it's still very difficult against a team like OpTic, who are now getting in the zone and more comfortable as their money starts to swell. They've got like 3 buys in the bag of their current finances.
3 rounds will seem like an eternity away, considering they've won 0 thus far on their T side. And as you say, Mertz now does have the AWP to play with. Let's see if he's going to have impact with it. Pretty passive play by him, not peering into team main just yet. Config into Pop Dog. Yugi narrowly missing out on that chance. Would have been a hell of a shot if he landed it. And again, Heroic, kind of similar setup to what we've seen a few times. They do love this Ivy side of the map. But they're getting in here quite late, so they have to be careful. I mean, obviously, we have the benefit of seeing that no one's pushed out just yet, but they're whittling down their time pretty quickly here.
And in the 1 minute mark, Mertz seeing if there's any sort of activity towards Ivy. Hoping that someone will overstep their mark and allow him to get a pick here. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Snappy playing very defensively with the AK. He knows he needs to get a 1-tap, fall back, reposition. Smokes coming in. Oh, he times it very well indeed, but might only get 1 here. If he survives this, I'm so impressed. Goes down. Best chance that Heroic have had in a while. Yugi has to smoke himself out now. AWP, still a good position for him, and they're not sure he's there.
This allows Gade to be freed up to rain down onto Yugi, or pardon me, Mertz, because Yugi went down just beforehand from Freiburg's hands. OpTic, a player deficit. Gade using that bomb. Not quite able to snap across for a second. Cajun's missed his first chance and his second, and that could be all he gets. Oh dear.
Oh, there has been some pretty insane moments. I thought Gage was going to pull that off for a second. I thought he's been given a lot of chances of this AWP, but wasn't meant to be. Like we said, plenty of money, though, for OpTic. Even after the investment here, Gage still on 5K. It is whittling down faster than anticipated. That will happen in purchasing the AWPs and dropping weapons for teammates as well. Heroic, if they can win this one, 14-8 up, and they'll have OpTic on the cusp of an eco. Maybe not quite, as Mertz goes towards that lower round. Eats the grenade for breakfast, though, as he goes down to 42 HP, and that's why the grenade is thrown, just to deny that fast peak at the very start. And he's really going to be clutching at straws now. Does he want to commit to a jump down the lower ramp? I would say definitely not. Look at the great positioning from Cajun, ready for any of those sort of antics, but the flash is perfect. The Gade's position might be even better. Nice shot there, good incendiary, great reaction here from the OpTic side. They've got their shutdown all day long, no problem whatsoever. And that's going to be Heroic winning their first round and looking like they'll be reset almost straight away. But S-Tag might have something to say about it. They've got a couple of kills in return, decent effort, but ultimately OpTic do get the reset as Heroic tried their hand towards inside, but ultimately just got 2 kills and shut down completely by that initial grenade. I think once that grenade come in and you realized he didn't really have any sort of access to the site, you can always fall back. You don't have to fully commit. It's way too good in terms of positioning and reaction from OpTic there. You can see there was no real bait, there was no default. You didn't give them a chance to use their utilities speculatively at the start. You gave your hand up straight away and they just got to dump everything on top of you.
There's a great smoke implemented by OpTic too onto Catwalk, meaning that Heroic couldn't get a 2-pronged attack onto the site and stop that crossfire, which ultimately really destroyed them in terms of their vision. In terms of this round though, it should be a gimme, and it's Gade spraying with his M4. He is going to pick up the ace. It is an eco ace, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, it still fires him up, gets him in the zone. And he'll be feeling more confident now. He remember in the first map, he had his head in his hands at one point, feeling like he could drop off, but it's a nice play from him. Denies the plant. That's the most important thing. Sure, the Rico frags, but they don't get any kills. They get no plant against a team like that. Still very good result. Heroic. Desperate for another gun round here, but just can't get it. Only be able to pick up one so far. It's currently 7-2, or 7-1, I should say, in the second half. Yugi holding the bomb train this time. Smoke towards Pop Dogs to buy some time here. Snappy's been really quite impressive at Ivy. Nothing too flashy, but just the way he's holding them off and able to patrol that single-handedly. Always trade out a kill. Yeah, it's been decent. No AWP again, and you can see the money is a bit of a problem. Another great nade from Snappy there. Does a ton of damage towards Freiburg and Asilian.
Full credit to OpTic. 12-3 to 13-10.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Still, though, if Heroic could go on to a bit of momentum and start to get some consecutive rounds going their way, they could still get past that finish line very quickly. But OpTic really turning the heat up, going through the gears. That timing is absolutely brutal for Config, but still recovers. He's down to 13. Mert probably should have had that kill. Also smoking out to alleviate the pressure so he can back away. Elsewhere, though, with 35 seconds coming up on the timer, Heroic starting to make a move through Ivy. It's very disjointed, though, but it's going to be Asilian that comes out ahead in the Ivy area, meaning it is a 4-on-4. Snappy needs to capitalize on this, but he's only going to be able to get the one kill. Opens up Ivy, and Modi's going to catch Config, who had his attention turned elsewhere, leaving Yugi and Gade in a 2-on-2. Yugi's already picked up one, but there's only 12 seconds left, so they've got to just go ahead and with this bomb plant, but they're both in connector. This bomb plant could actually go down, but it's in such a risky position.
My God.
He's got away with it, and now the tables turn really quickly.
With the position as well going towards Heaven. Sure, it's a high-risk plant, but that could be crazy good for them. They can spot that from both sides of the train now. They can be everywhere as S-Tac challenges. There's a boatload of damage towards Yugi. This is great. The fact they could both go to Heaven, you wouldn't think they're both up there. I actually really like this. This could be great. And if S-Tac even goes down, they're not going to anticipate Freiburg there, but that could be a fly in the order. What happened?
No, he whiffed it. Oh, no,
what happened?
Did it land in the ceiling?
I have no idea, but either way, this is still on. Will they anticipate another player to be up there? All he has to do is deny the club. Oh my God, Freiburg's done it. Amazing play there. High intensity moment. And Vince, I don't know what happened to that incendiary.
I need to see it.
It really threw me off. I wasn't sure what was happening. I was about to say, well, they're done for now, but then no damage was being done. I think it landed like a light bulb or something like that, light fitting. It sounded like a smashed glass when it came through. Yeah, it's up there.
Oh, no.
That's exactly what happened. It landed at a light fitting. Have you ever seen anything like it? And it means Freiburg can win the round. Now, if you've ever been CSGO'd in your life, that's got to be the ultimate.
It really does. And it's such a crucial, integral part of this match. This is a best of 3. If Heroic win from this point, OpTic are out. That could be the determining moment of how this best of 3 comes down.
You're absolutely right. Oh, my God. I've never seen that happen before, ever. A Molotov lands in the ceiling when 2 players are up there. You would have guaranteed win the round if it landed successfully.
Originally, I thought he'd somehow whiffed it completely, and then you started to see some of the fire come down. So it must have landed just above the lights. Absolutely. That is so brutal.
Obscene. Yeah, that is. You really do hate to see that.
Because if that connects, they're both screwed. Yep. They were both definitely going to get Molotov'd out of that position.
If not dead, they've been put in a compromised position where they'd have to peek, and they were low HP, one of them as well, so that was insane. Luckily for OpTic, though, the money's still so weak. Even after winning the round for Heroic, they have 3 kills and a deagle. They won the last round. And you can see it's a nice, healthy buy for OpTic, so they should be able to win this one.
Well, OpTic might be on Tilt Street, but they've got to get themselves back into winning ways. Hence the timeout. As Henry said, they do have the weaponry advantage by quite a distance. Only Heroic's second round on their T side. Fortunate, to say the least. Nades being traded on box halls. No push just yet. As ever, Freiburg, other side of the map, hoping to get a flank into play if the rest of his teammates can be successful on their B endeavor. But both the CTs are playing close angles here, and it's going to be a walkout for Cajun B. That's a free frag, and a second, and a third, and the bomb goes sprawling out. The round is done, and Heroic, they may have got fortunate in that last round, but it's not seemingly going to strike twice.
Couldn't really tell you what they're hoping to achieve with that. Now, that one doesn't make any sense to me. Walking through one by one through the smoke, no flashbang. I know they were limited, but that was what they came up with. There was still time as well. It's still 15 seconds. They could have waited for that smoke to go down. That was pretty awful. I'm not really sure what they were hoping would happen at the end of that one. So the risk on the other side, you either have an open connector, an M4 just beneath the lower ramp, or on top of that train, as we just saw. So they're going one by one. No real reaction. You can't really con where he is in that short window of time. You just have to hope you can use the sound cue to work out where he is. But that's a full eco now. Vince, I'm going to say this is going overtime.
I'm alongside with you.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel really bad for OpTic, so I'm fine with that. Yeah,
I think it's almost starting to go on. By the time Heroic can buy again, it will be like 13, 14, and they might squeeze one more round. They'll get reset again, and we'll pretty much go overtime. Redundant round here. Just run in. But crated, I think, on the way down. So there we go. That's fine. Let this happen.
Yeah, he got smashed in midair from the player that was on the site. 14 to 12.
So another eco here. So like I said, 14 to 13. Then I would say Heroic win one, then get reset again, then we go overtime. That's what I think is going to happen anyway. So they have to take another eco here. These resets are brutal, especially not getting the plants down. I'm still disappointed with their approach, just walking down lower ramp. Sure, you don't have much to work with, but let's try and be a little bit creative.
You've got to assume with that much time left that someone's got to be watching ramp as well.
Yeah.
But there's no way someone isn't.
Yeah, it's like you had a little bit of a bait towards outside, but it's still... There we go. Anyway, Deagles, sometimes these rounds can work out. But Snappy has had Ivy under lock and key. Freiburg, though, in front of the smoke. Could be able to trick him somewhere here. There we go. Not bad. Didn't anticipate him being in front of the smoke. And now he can get a rifle. Get the hell out of there, in my opinion. But he's going to stick around. He wants to see if he can gauge the action there. And without armor, I feel like that could have been the incorrect call, but still alive. And now Convict's so focused on him, his teammates might be able to do something with this. Oh my god, it's working out. What's happening here? Freiburg's got another one, Vince. This was the full eco. Could this find them series point, elimination point against OpTic? It's a 5 versus 2 now. It's up to Cajun B and Yugi. Cajun will find the first incision, but the bomb is going to be planted.
The stage is set. The play in motion. Yugi's been mollied out, allowing Cajun now to try and make the most of this Ivy push. But if he continues to go in, he is going to die to the hands of Mertz. And now Yugi 1 on 4. He's going to get the first.
No way.
But there's so many different angles for him to watch out for, and Mertz is going to destroy him. And they scream into the face of their opponents once more. I didn't see from Moddy's perspective, but that looked like it was a ridiculous flick shot with the Deagle up on the box.
It must have been. I have no idea. But I was so focused on Freiburg at that point. I was like, how is he going to make this one work? He does have the balls to continue to go towards the back tracks there, like 2 HP after getting tagged up, and somehow got another kill. Very chaotic round, but that relieves a ton of pressure now for Heroic. They can go for the slightly more audacious plays and go for some Hail Marys, perhaps. Because they have 3 rounds in the bag. OpTic have all the pressure on them. Luckily, they had decent money for another buy. Money not really a factor at this point. They just need to win out every single round best they can. They've gone for the double orb setup, Yugi and Snappy. Heroic, they've got enough in the bag for another buy. They won't be completely wrecked by the reset here if they lose this. They'll head towards inside once again. No presence from the CTs. Could they get the 2-0 and knock out OpTic here, Vince? No one really predicted this one. I know a couple of guys on desk said Heroic could win this, but I don't think anyone anticipated the 2-0, to be honest.
No, I think everyone, myself included, expect this to go 3 maps whichever way it went, and to be very close on all 3 of those. But with the double orbs, OpTic have plenty of firepower. Heroic have no interest in Ivy this time. They're looking to have a set play on the A site, setting up their smokes, starting to be tossed in. 40 seconds. Yugi's position is about to become tenuous, but actually no nades are going to be landing on him. There's a smoke in there. You can see desperately wants to tap a shot through the smoke. Does connect onto Astillion, but it's not enough to take him down. Now step up to the plate, Cajun B with his spray. Config's also chipping in for 2. It's looking good now with just 20 seconds that we're going to go at least one more round and potentially to overtime.
We did say it was looking likely for overtime. 2 in a row, though. What's the play from Heroic? They take one eco here, a partial buy. They've got enough to squeeze one out, but I feel like they'll just go for the Deagles, perhaps. And yes, they will. Just Deagles, armor, and they've got 5k on Mertz, 5k on S-Tag, buying Deagles now. So they could have bought, that's what I'm saying. But they're going to try and just finish things off round number 30. Will it work out for them? Time will tell. They did manage to win a round before with just Deagles. So you never know. Sometimes it's enough. Let's have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. Freiburg, 22 kills. Nice to see that name at the very top of the scoreboard. As Mertz with 18, Asilian 20, continuing his good form. And Mertz continues his rampage here. Even manages to take down Snappy. Unfortunately, he does get found by Config in the end. Great stuff, though. 4 versus 4. No rifle obtained, though.
But this could also factor into that 30th round storyline. But because Snappy's gone down, $700 left in his bank account. Even if Heroic lose this round, if they take enough weapons away from OpTic, they're going to be lacking some grenades, potentially lacking a double-up setup, maybe an M4. So still plenty to play for in this round for Heroic, even though it's very unlikely that they actually take the W. Flash over. Not going to be pushing behind it from Ivy. More of a fake than anything else. Meanwhile, S-Attack poised, ready to strike like a coiled viper. Freiburg, though, is once again going to get some success. And not like this, OpTic. Not for the second consecutive time with Deagles.
Oh, it might
Surely
be.
this isn't going to happen. But now Gates in a 1-on-3 as Asilian takes down Config. How is this even possible? They've let this happen twice. Asilian's done it. Heroic best OpTic and knocked them out.
That's been one of my favorite games of the tournament so far, Vin. So many storylines coming into it, underdogs taking it, and so many amazing rounds as well. Shout out to Freiburg there. Like I said, it's been a while since we've been able to praise the old dog, and he manages to finish very top of Heroic there. Great play by him, some fantastic rounds, and he was influential getting them over the finish line there as well. There's one digs he got towards Ivy to get towards the backtrack there, found in the 15th round, removed the pressure, and has knocked out their rival team, the team that's taken so many of their players, their flesh and blood, and now they've knocked him out of the tournament. I think that's a fantastic little storyline there, and OpTic can't be too mad about it. It was a fantastic game. Sure, it was 2-0, but we had so much fun watching that one. So great Counter-Strike displayed. Some of the skill level just going through the roof on some of the individual moments there.
I mean, it was nuts. It was 12-3 after the first half, and I thought, okay, here we go. They're just going to put on a clinic of a CT side.
Absolutely.
Slipped up at the end.
Really, really enjoyed that. It's the first game today that hasn't gone to 3 maps, and it's probably the one we thought was the only lock-in, didn't it? Well, there it is. I'm sure the boys on the desk are going to have some fun. So I'll throw it back to the beautiful birthday boy and the rest of them over on the desk.
Thank you very much, you Charmer. A great series, and a series that we didn't necessarily have the highest of expectations for. Delivers in buckets and spades. Heroic getting revenge versus a team that they've got a rivalry with, I would describe in some sense. I think once your players get stolen to a different organization, a rivalry does begin, and it is all the juicier to see a 2-0 get them through the elimination match and into playoffs. Guys, we have, of course, Pimp and Sponge joining me. Jacob, that was quite the match.
That was quite the match, and quite an unexpected result, I would say.
Yeah.
I think the way Heroic won is what testaments this victory. I think they played overall a great game. I think they played way better as a team than OpTic did, and I think the individual level also showcased a little bit. We did outline before the match that OpTic definitely had the more talent on the team, but I didn't think we saw that in this game. I think Freiburg, S-Attack, all of those players, you know, the old vintage good players, maybe not S-Attack, but Freiburg at least, you know, had some good rounds and some impact in this game.
Sure, I was really impressed with the way that Freiburg was able to use the space. He was giving us questioning whether, like, giving him so much room to be that lurker to make plays on his own while the rest of the core is going off, because he used to be the entry fragger for NIP. But as this train game slowly trickled down, that's when he really showed with the Deagle, and they're able to close out, and to do it in that fashion with the pistols to win the game. You can see the excitement there on them to win that game and what it means to them, because right now in Denmark, I think that second spot is definitely still up for grabs. Even though North beat Astralis yesterday, I still think it's not locked in who the #2 team in that region is just yet.
Yeah, I mean, Freiburg given space, and look at him fly. 23 frags from the second map, and that, of course, does equal him out with everyone. There seems to be a very
team effort,
clear team effort. No large separation between top and bottom. In fact, everyone is pulling their weight and getting them to the playoffs. They're in the globe. 2 Swedes, more Swedes.
Freiburg gets to play NIP tomorrow at 10 AM, bright and early. If you're not a fan of Swedish Counter-Strike, you will be tomorrow, that's for sure. But look, I think that it was like a grind, that game. It was close. It felt like towards the end there, the OpTic were going to take that game. I was saying when the scoreline was like 12 hours, like, Jacob, don't get up. Don't put your shirt on.
Relax, relax.
Just stay seated. We're going to a third. But those deagles, those pistol buys towards the end there, enough to get them across the line. So
gorgeous.
Props.
Yeah, we actually have Modi standing by, so we can get a little bit of extra insight. Hello, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you.
Beautiful. Dude, first of all, congratulations. That must have been, I'm not saying it's took you by surprise, but you guys just qualified for the playoffs of CORSAIR DreamHack Masters. What's your initial reaction?
I'm really happy. Like you could saw it after the game. I was really pumped. It means a lot for me, and I think it means a lot to Patrick, ECT Tag as well, because basically we faced 2 of our ex-teammates who left us for a better team, in their opinion. So yeah, I'm happy.
That's the question I was going to ask. I was going to say, how good does it feel to beat Snappy and Yugi and be like, look here, boys, we're able to do better without you. We can even beat you.
I mean, I'm happy, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So
we just with that line of, I guess, thought process, because you played with Snappy for so long and you know how he in-game leads, how much of that were you able to bring through and give to Asilian when you guys were preparing for this matchup?
A lot, actually.
Yeah.
We kind of knew what to expect from them on train and Nuke, because, like I said, I've been playing with Snappy and Jugi for almost 2 years, and there was a lot of things we could like pass on to Asilian. So, like we had a lot of information at least.
Talking about Asilian, we both know him very well, Marty. We both played with him. How's he different compared to Snappy as an in-game leader?
I think he's more like he listens more to the players. Like if we want to do some plays, or he often say it's okay, and he's not that strict. With Snappy, it was more like sit back, wait for my call, do the strat, and that's it. With Asilian, it's more. We have more freedom. Yeah. You
can definitely see that in the play style of the team ever since this change has happened. I noticed you guys have kind of diversified your map pool. You're looking a lot more brawly. And well, the one for me is S-Tag standing out. He's been having a lot better individual performances since he's had more room. You know, you obviously get to play with him, and you had that period where he went to the bench and all. Like, obviously you practice with him. What kind of skill ceiling can we expect from this guy?
He's a really talented guy. He's probably one of the best teammates and players I've been playing with recently. He's always calm and collected. He can play all the guns and basically all the roles as well. So, like, he's just amazing.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, take up.
Last question, Modi. But Ninjas in Pajamas tomorrow. How you feel about that one? You feel like you've got a good shot?
Yeah, I don't want to be cocky or something, but I mean, I think we have a really good chance against them. We have been practicing against them a lot, actually. We actually practiced versus them during this event.
Oh, fantastic. Cool.
And yeah, like, we know what to expect, and I think they know what to expect as well. I think it's going to be a really good game. Hopefully we manage to beat them and qualify for semifinals. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Can't wait to see you guys go back into the ring. But go get some rest, Waddy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
In the Globe. Oh my God, exciting times. But that's we're getting close to having just one more spot available, guys. And before we get any closer to the hype and the next game, I do want to have that breakdown over on the drawing board. Yeah. Did you find the round you were looking for?
I hope so. This was just one of the rounds that I was quite interested in that was run by Heroic here. And basically what they're doing is they're just posturing for an outside fake and then going to go for some Ivy contact play here. So the smokes and flashes are all going to come on over, and what you're trying to do is bait away the utility from the OpTic players. Instead of, you know, going straight out and using that, they've waited and they're going to go for a contact play with the core here, the 3 players making their way towards Ivy, and the 2 are holding brown walls are going to come back towards team middle. Normally when you have an outside fake like this, most teams will want to be hitting the inner bomb site because you're drawing rotations towards the outer yard, but here they're hoping that the Ivy player, which is Snappy, is left alone and they're able able to trade him. Eventually, this does take some time. We can skip forward. When the attack happens, Snappy's able to get a kill. Eventually, he's traded. We questioned how long this would take. You can see the rest of the utility coming over. It isolates Config and PopDog. They've thrown their other flashes and smokes, and now what they want to do is pincer and isolate the yard. In all the confusion, the players from OpTic are getting caught out of position, and it puts a lot of pressure on Gade and Yugi, who are left to defend the yard. And then you can see Cajun with the AWP. I think he gets left in a 1-on-2. And whiffs some really big shots in that scenario, and that's not what we wanted to see. But the misdirection of that strategy is what I want to point out. They're really pincering and hoping to draw that rotation and make, get OpTic caught in limbo, and then cut off the players. You see that smoke landing in PopDog? That's how you really negate an aggressive player like Comfy, because he has to make a choice. He either stays in Pop, he's got 20 seconds behind that smoke, or he plays outside of that, and that's when he's, inevitably going to get done by flashes, has to make an aggressive play towards team mid. He goes down and the round falls apart.
Yeah, you know what? That's it's actually kind of crazy when you get to see just how a team can look so good in one round and just so confused and lost in another. Maybe a smoke grenade is all it takes.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I think it's almost time for us to take a break. And coming up after the break, he made it. Woxic is going to be stepping back into the ring. Snacks has got himself a camera. And we're going to see Mousesports versus Hellraisers with their full roster as they battle for survival once his visa issues are fixed.